Welcome to the On the Hunt podcast. I'm the number one Lions fan you probably know, Bobby Bless, and I'm here with my brothers today. Reggie's the number guru Funches, and the man that keeps it all together. I mean, this guy really is the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator of this team, Elijah Winfrey, and the best defensive coordinator I know personally, my man Nate Rucker. Hey Nate, you said we got a contest today?
Man, absolutely. So the contest today, y'all, if hopefully y'all have been staying and paying attention, y'all, we still got that Apple Watch on deck. But remember, we're only going to be giving this watch away when we hit 350 subscribers. We're almost there, y'all. We're at 283. So we're 67 subscribers away from this contest. Now, what you have to do, you go ahead, you punch in Elijah Winfrey Studios, and there you will find our show, On the Hunt, but not just our show. Man, there's so much different content, man, for every type of fan. Man, if you are in the creepy things, if you're in the Bigfoot, we have Seaway Valley. Man, if you're into Star Wars, you know, we have that. We have gaming. Man, this is a complete channel that really hits everything you guys would want. We also have videos. Our guy, the guy that holds us together. If y'all don't know by now, Elijah is also the movie producer. He's not only stars, he not only directs, but he edits it all. He is the guy. So remember, y'all, 283. This is where we're at. Once we hit 350, then that watch goes up. Whoever has the most subscribers will get that watch. So now you say, hey, well, what else needs to be done? The people that you send to subscribe to the channel need to make sure that, hey, they would say, hey, I am subscribed to this channel. I was referred by Elijah Winfrey. I was referred by Bobby. I was referred by whoever. They have to make sure that, hey, they are referring and make sure that your name is in the comments. Also today, we have a special guest. Come here, Kinsley. Come here. I also have my niece with me. So, come on. So, everybody, Kinsley, look into the camera and say, hey.
Hey.
You gonna wave? You gonna give them away? Everybody, this is my niece. This is Kinsley. Right now, she is Chef Nisi. I was Uncle Chef as we, was getting our chili together. So, but right now, man, that is our contest. You want to say anything else? What you want to say?
What's it say?
Say go Lions.
Go Lions.
There we go. We got right
yes,
now, man.
Teach them why they're young, Nate. Teach them why they're young, Nate.
Okay, so say now we're going to go to by the numbers.
Now we're going to say by the numbers.
So we're going to Reggie. Reg, what's up, dog?
I appreciate the intro, girl. So I ain't got to say much because she just said it all. Welcome to the numbers. We're going to do, of course, our contest style. See how well these guys have studied up this week. I don't think nobody studied this. So I'm about to see, though.
Man, I looked at some things, but I forgot them. I ain't going to even lie.
If I go 0 for 4, I'm definitely taking a shot.
You know what? We're gonna have to our probably last episode, our last show of the year, we'll probably have to do shot style.
Yeah. Oh man.
It might miss it.
No, I only got two. I only got 2 drink limit, man. So I can't fuck with it. No way.
So we're gonna kick it off with the offense.
Okay.
So who do you guys believe had the highest offensive grade this week? Elijah, who you got?
Oh, you're gonna start with me first, of course. Let's see. I'm gonna say Brock Wright.
Brock Wright. Nate, who you got?
I'm gonna take a big fella.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna take Taylor Decker.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Who you got, bro?
Hey, Nate stole my answer. Taylor Decker. That's who I was taking.
All right.
Destin.
Not much improvement. We're starting off 0 for 3.
No.
God.
Oh, come on now.
So the highest offensive grade this week is 82.7 by Amon Ra.
Oh, for real? He didn't
So he
really
done
go.
came
Oh,
back. After not making it last week, he came back to take his spot. So we're going to have to start paying attention to the trends, fellas.
I guess so. I guess so.
My boy Amon Ra,
Right.
you really can't really go wrong with David Hill.
I thought I
Man.
was safe by picking the guy who scored the touchdown. Like I thought I
He
was
dropped the
safe.
pass anyway. He dropped the pass. I knew
Yeah.
he wasn't gonna be up
And
there.
remember, fumbling
Right.
or drop passes do hurt your score.
Mhm.
Taylor Decker was actually fourth
Dang.
at 73.7, and Brock Wright was 59.4.
Oh,
Damn.
just a little bit off.
Hey, so who so Amara was 1. Who was 1, 2, 3, 4 then? So Amara,
So it was Amon Ra, and then it was Khalif Raymond,
Oh, yeah. I could have picked
yeah.
him.
and then it was Panay Sewell, and then Decker.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. I ain't that
Yeah,
mad.
So I'm not gonna ask who got the highest passing grade because it only makes sense that it was Amon Ra.
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense. But I will have you guess who came in second.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Khalif Raymond.
All right, we got Khalif Raymond. You got Nate.
DeAndre Swift.
What? Come on
DeAndre
now.
Swift.
He knows that ain't the right answer. Look at him.
And then
smiling.
Bobby.
No, he dropped too many passes. I just do it.
I'm gonna say Khalif Raymond.
All right, Khalif Raymond. Nate, I'm gonna let you get a redo because ain't no way you thought that was true.
Oh,
True.
man.
I answered. We all picked the same thing. It was going to be Khalif Raymond. I was just trying to.
Right.
3 for 3.
All right, it is 3 for 3. It was Khalif Raymond.
Yeah.
The reason I
Yeah.
asked it because Brock Wright was literally right behind him at 77.4.
He a
Good.
dog.
So
The white pony.
Didn't give me that time.
We'll ride the white horse.
All right. So who do you guys think led the team in pass blocking grade this week?
Pene.
Decker. Bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah, I'm a no. Brock Wright. I think it was him because I seen him in a lot of fisticuffs. They was bad at how his ass. Yeah, I'm gonna say Brock Wright.
All right. So far we're 3 for 9.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good. It's 33%.
No.
So the highest pass blocking grade this week was 84.7. And that was attained by Frank Ragnow.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I forgot about Frank. I was literally thinking Frank the Tank afterwards, after I said my pick.
No, y'all wasn't too far off. Brock Wright was 74.4. So he was third. And Taylor Decker was 73.4.
Mm-hmm.
So my guy was not close.
No.
Okay.
Stupid,
Yeah,
man.
Panay Sewell actually didn't have a good pass blocking grade. It was at 52.2.
Woo! My guy was better than yours.
It was cold that night, Elijah.
So, final question for the offense. Who do you think had the highest run blocking grade?
Evan Brown.
You got Evan Brown. Who you got, Nate?
Swift.
No. I'm going to say Decker again.
All right, you got Deckard. Who you got, Bobby?
Brock Wright. Because like I said, man, that boy, they was having to separate dudes from him every time the play was over, man. He was on some other shit. So I'm gonna just say roll him.
All right. So we are now just in the point of us putting a percentage out there. It's pretty bad.
Oh, man.
So
Okay, I'll take my
the
shot.
highest run blocking grade was actually 90.2.
Damn.
Nate Sewell.
Wow.
Pink Nate. Oh, man.
Man, he was roll great.
He came in second. That was 71.0 for Evan Brown.
Oh, come on now.
But he was out there holding, though. He was
Taylor
out there
Decker.
holding all game, man. That's
Taylor
what
Decker.
No, a couple of those holdings, the two they called actually shouldn't have been called for real.
Yeah, but don't that go against I ain't saying that it was or wasn't, but that
It,
should go against
well, no, it doesn't affect that grade. I believe it depends on what you were doing when the penalty.
Wow.
So like if he went in, into like if you're pass blocking, like so it's definitely a drop back and pass, and you get a hold, it drops your pass blocking grade.
But it don't drop you on the run.
If it is a run pass or run play and you get a hold, it does affect your run blocking.
See, but that shows how good Evan Brown was because he did have 2 run blocking penalties supposedly, but that's how good he was run blocking though.
Mm-hmm. And then you got Amon Ra, who had the 4th highest run blocking grade at 70.1. The boy is a problem.
Man. I do. He was run blocking at USC like he hit on defense, man, for real.
Mm-hmm. Now Brock Wright had the lowest run blocking grade on the team. It was 41.7. But
that boy needed some milk.
Yeah,
man, they was punking him.
But that touchdown made up for a lot of ills.
Man,
so we're gonna switch over to our defense.
Now I know why he was running so fast. They was about to come get him.
We're gonna switch over to our defense. Who do you guys think had the highest defensive grade this week?
James Houston.
Yeah, James Houston. Who you got, Nate?
I'm gonna go Hutch.
Or you got Hutch. And then Bobby, who you got, brother?
The Okwariye, the guy from the Giant I can't. Did I say his name right? Romeo, yeah. Okwariye with him. Yeah, him. Because he was out there making some noise too.
Okay. So far 1 for 3.
Ooh, come on, say it. You can say it, Elijah, right?
Nah.
No, it's embarrassing
because of
Okay, Nate.
Come on. Don't you dare switch up arms on me. Don't you dare do it. No.
So Aiden Hudson had the highest defensive grade this week of 83.4. Of course, the guy had 4 stops, which actually, whenever you get stops, it just really helps you.
Yeah, that boy was amazing in the
ring. And Romeo was actually 6 at 66.0. Even though he did have 2 sacks on the day. And James Houston, and he had a sack as well.
James Houston was what?
7th.
Oh.
You got to think, even though they may have a sack in the game or 2 sacks in the game, the defensive grade is going to take all this stuff and factor it in. So,
they're trying to cheat my man.
Run defense grade this week.
Isaiah Buggs.
Boogie. Nate.
Hutch.
Got Hutch. Yeah, Bobby, who you got?
I got McNeil.
McNeil. So 2 for 6.
Oh, is it me? No.
It was Hutch again. 81.0 on run defense.
He a beast, man.
Aleem McNeil,
Flag on the play.
he was fourth for 69.4.
Damn.
And Boogie was, dang, Boogie, where you at?
He's getting thrown around.
Don't do
Boogie
my
was
guy like that.
Boogie was 13th,
That's
Yeah,
not
he's
good.
getting thrown
He
around.
doesn't
He was
play
getting
on the
thrown
field.
around. He was getting thrown around.
56.1.
It's not good when you're 13th out of 11. Come on.
Pretty bad.
He was top 20.
So our highest tackling grade this week, who do you guys think had it?
It's Hutchinson.
You got Hutchinson? Nate, who you got?
Hey, something wrong with Elijah, man.
Elijah's pissed.
Yeah, it's Hutchinson.
Who you got, Nate?
Hutch.
Who you got, Bobby?
No, he's got to pick
Okuda.
Okay, I'll pick somebody else. Okay.
No, you can pick whoever you want.
Okay, so
I'll pick the same
Okuda,
person.
because he sure was tackling.
outside of Hutch, I'm going to go James Houston.
James Houston. And then
Yeah, he was out the way. I got Okuda.
Okuda. Smoking that stinky Buddha. So, Elijah, you got one.
Hey, I'm back in the game.
Listen, I just let you have that.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all is so silly, man.
Aiden had the highest tackling grade of 74.6.
Oh, come on now. All right.
Aiden Hutchinson is the man, for real.
James Houston was 6 on 70.5. Him and Kaminsky were actually tied at 6.
Yeah, Kaminsky was doing this thing.
Kuda was 9th at 57.9. I already knew this was gonna be a little sketchy. Who do you think had the highest coverage grade this week?
No.
Is it Hutchinson?
Highest coverage?
Mm-hmm.
Hutchinson.
Can't be
touch there every time now, huh?
Might as well. Shit. I can't remember nobody really covering.
I'm gonna take Jerry Jacobs.
Jerry Jacobs. And we got Bobby.
I'm gonna go with Jerry Jacobs too.
Jerry Jacobs.
Can I switch my answer to Zach Wilson?
Yeah.
I think
Zach
he was our
Wilson.
best cornerback on Sunday. Come on, I gotta get some extra credit. I gotta catch
I
up.
already know. It won't be the first time.
That's gonna be a no.
Oh,
And then no, and no.
none of us got it right.
None of us got right. Highest coverage grade this week was 67.0. And that was Malcolm.
That's not good. That's not all that good itself.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I went for the lesser of two because nobody was good in coverage. Like,
yeah,
for real.
it was and that's why you were probably better off picking a linebacker than one of the quarters.
Man, all of
I
them
thought
was good.
Anzalone for real.
So Hutch didn't even have a grade, so that mean he didn't have a coverage situation at all. And Jerry Jacobs was at 44.1. He had the second lowest grade.
They was out there cooking them boys, man.
Behind Okuda. Okuda was getting lit.
Yeah.
And not in a good way, right?
No, not in a good way.
No.
Man, somebody posted on my timeline something about Okuda. Let me see.
Now, I do want to give an honorable mention out to Alex Anzalone.
The linebacker did very good.
5 tackles on the day for her. He has really picked up as the year was going on. Like, have y'all noticed that he?
But you know what?
Because he free to do what he got to do, man. He ain't telling them what to do all the time.
Yeah,
so he
it's
concentrate on what the fuck he got going on. They learn.
Yeah, it's honestly truthfully the other guys have gotten so much better throughout the year.
He ain't got to tell them every damn step.
Free, like a lot of time, and then Rodrigo was just tearing it up. And so, he was like hid in the middle, but Anzalone, truthfully, has been playing pretty damn good all year, consistently.
Yeah.
Hey, let me read what my boy Bradley said real quick. Now he said, now that we have won, my boy Bradley, he gonna say, now that we have won, I took my nap. Let's talk about the secondary. Man, what's up, Robert? Unfortunately, I smell Okuda again. He's stupid. That's just super funny, man. Oh my god. But
I did want to give us some overall look at where we rank. So, of course, the record is 7-7, which is just awesome.
Unbelievable.
Compared to where we were at. We are tied for 5th in points scored at 369. We are dead last in points allowed at 364.
Oh,
but the defense has bumped up a couple spots to the 26th ranked defense.
well,
So that
what total yards?
Just overall.
Okay.
We are about to jump into the top 25 this weekend. Yeah.
Our offense is tied for 14th overall. But we had the 3rd best special teams in the NFL. And that goes
for sure you're right. That's why I put that out there about our special teams coach.
And these are those spots where you're like, okay, I see why we're 7-7. Of course, the defense has allowed a lot of points. But then you see why we won 7 games. If you win on special teams, defense starts to get a little bit respectable. Well, you keep putting points on the board, you can win games. That's what it looks like the Lions is doing. So we're gonna kick it over to Nate for game impressions. How you feel about how the game went, brother?
What are you doing?
No.
My bad, y'all. Okay. No, this is okay. I think the game went very, very well. I really, really like the growth of the team. And as I keep saying, man, Dan Campbell is shutting. You want to taste it? No. So yeah, great job, Dan Campbell. Great job, Moten, who is our special teams coach. And Aaron Glenn, he still got some little tweaks, but the defense is still, playing very well. I think this winning streak, we've been leaving the game with at least 7 quarterback hits. If I'm not mistaken, we had 6 Sunday. So again, no, we didn't. I think we had 9. Again, it's literally getting back to the black and blue, leaving these boys out here bruised up. So, hey, man, I love it. Bobby, what you got?
Well, I think it was on my boy Reg, but Reg, you want me to jump in on there real quick?
You can go ahead, brother.
Okay, well,
I will say that we had 6 hits on Sunday.
Oh, see, that's why we need, man, Reggie. Come on, that's I'm only calling you. But my impression of the game for real though is just that the guys hung in there, man. It wasn't no real. We needed everybody for this, We started off with a couple penalties, even though it wasn't going our way, they stayed in it. And Elijah, if I'm not mistaken, you got a video of my favorite play of the day.
Yes, I do. So let's go ahead and pull that up here for Bobby Bless. And Bobby, will have you narrate what's going on, my friend, because I think most Lions fans know what's
going on. This is the good old kick return. Punt return. My guy Khalif Raymond, man. We were struggling for a minute, man, but everybody invested. This is like a Dan Campbell team. When you like to coach from top to bottom, usually with these special team guys, these are the fringe players on the team. But with so many injuries, these guys playing. Mm-hmm. But make a long story short, look at my Raymond. He cut it right up there, and then everybody invested. Look, everybody is like got a man. That's the main thing. Everybody got a man. And then Raymond, but my favorite one is coming up. Our guy right there. Mr. Jackson State. Look at him, boy. Boy, and then look.
Oh, you ain't getting nothing this way, punter.
Yeah, then he said, let me go on and jump over you. Yeah, man, that's just a fully invested team in action right there. A lot of times people don't really consider special teams part of the game, man. If you leave special team out, it's gonna end up costing you. And like Nate said last episode, hey, we was going through it with this special team with new kickers and all this stuff. I think we actually got guys that's been on the field knowing that, hey, this is just as much as important of the team than me being out there on defense or me being out there on offense. You got guys like Rodrigo and James Houston. Everybody will talk about that sack record, but this guy out here hitting heads too on the special teams, man. For he don't have no ego. You know what I mean? He trying to win, man. And I think we got a bunch of guys that's trying to win, and the best way to show that is on this special team. But that's really my impression of the game. I got one more little quick thing to say. My friend Kevin Dad, he called me Detroit because he always say, man, you the only Detroit fan in Toledo, man. And every time we lose, he always have a like, man, what happened to y'all? You know how it is, right? Today, I see my boy Kevin on Monday. And Mr. Johnson, he told me that his dad told me, say, hey, Detroit, y'all actually got a good team now. So I think we'd have made it if we got Mr. Johnson approval, man. How about you, Reggie?
So one of those gutter games, you know how we already knew how the Jets defense is low. Like they're tough.
Can't sleep. I
wanted to make mention of Sauce Gardner so good that Jared Goff did not throw his way not once the entire game.
He's smart. Don't throw it that way. I can't.
It got to the point where Sauce Gardner actually is pissed off. He was pissed because he was like, he wanted to make a play against the team that he grew up watching. And I'm like, you know what? You can stay pissed because that was just a smart business decision. Like I'm not about to throw this kid's way because he's that good. But
good.
Oh my bad. Sorry.
It's just these are the type of games where we would typically lose. You know what I'm saying? And we're winning them this year. The guy that's honestly making the biggest impression to me lately has been Khalif Raymond.
Man.
He makes timely plays, timely catches. Of course, that punt return was huge yesterday. We're watching him become a football player, complete football player. Like, I'm not just special teams. I'm not just a punt returner. I'm also being a weapon on the offense as well. And that just makes it to where it's going to be tough on defenses because if we got Amon-Ra, Khalif Raymond, and then you sit up here and if he can get the ball to James Williams, then that'd be great. But this is one of them games where the other thing I was really happy about, the coach that made a mistake or made multiple mistakes wasn't our coach. It was theirs. So we're watching him grow. We're watching the team grow with him. You're seeing the confidence he's instilled in them. So it's just awesome to look at. How you feel about it, Elijah?
So for me, I obviously I'm happy with the victory. As you always got to be happy getting victories in this league because they are hard to do. However, if I'm being honest with you, and you know me, I always like to be honest. I was nervous about this game. I wasn't nervous before the game. I was nervous in the game because after we had our first big drive down the field and we got shut out at the goal line, like I was concerned. And then of course, Khalif Raymond put on his Superman cape and said, "Not today, Satan." So good for him. Okay, good for him. But it just seemed like while we did find a way to win the game, it just felt like our offense was not clicking the way that they need to be. And the reason why I bring this up is because not every single team on the NFC side plays in a dome or plays in a facility with a retractable roof. They're outdoor element teams that are going to have high playoff positioning. And if we play like we did against the Jets, against one of them teams in the playoffs, that could be bad news for us. And I don't want to be the party pooper. Believe me, I don't want to be the party pooper. I know that's how everyone's looking at me right now on the screen because I can see a bunch of angry faces on the screen. But I mean, realistically, okay, you do that against the Eagles, you're getting beat. You do that against, even the Buccaneers. I know they're not really cold weather, but you play against the Buccaneers and Tampa like that, assuming they get in, that's not really good news either. So I hope that is something that our coach addresses with the players this week. That, listen, I'm happy we got the win, but it was certainly an ugly way to do it. And then the other part of it is defensively, that last drive, like, I was happy to see the sacks when we got them. And I was so annoyed to see the 3rd and 18s converted. Because I don't know why that keeps happening to us. I can't really put my finger on it. But, like, that is something, again, that if you're playing a better team, that could have been easily a loss for us. I know it wasn't. And, again, I'm not trying to be the party pooper, but I'm just being realistic. Like, I have high expectations now for this team because they've proven they can do it. Which, let me quickly show a graphic here, and then I want to toss it to Nate because it looks like Nate's got something to say. So,
and I got something to say too right behind him.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Hey, you know what? That's what this show is all about. It's all about discussion. So let me share this. And this was actually shared by the guys earlier this week. So I'm not taking credit for finding this. One of the guys found it. I forget which one messaged this to me, but this
I think that was Nate.
This is something that I think is something worthy of celebrating. This is from NFL on CBS. No team has played a harder strength of schedule this season than the Lions, with their opponents with a 59% winning percentage, making their 7-7 record all the more impressive. So that's something that's realistic, that actually has happened. And I'm very glad about that because I remember some of the years that we did make the playoffs, it seemed like we beat up on a bunch of teams that were either rebuilding or had a bunch of injuries. And this year, that's not the case. We're getting quality wins against good opponents.
Oh, so we actually beating winning teams now. Interesting.
Right. Hey, that is an accurate statement. And then the other thing, obviously I said this is more real. This other thing is just kind of funny and interesting. You've probably seen the show Peyton's Places on the ESPN Plus app. Well, a few weeks ago, Jeff Daniels, avid Detroit Lions fan, a really great actor as well.
Funny as shit.
They did a ritual on Ford Field where they lifted the curse of Bobby Lane. And ever since they did that, the Lions are 6-1. So that's just kind of a fun one for you. But again, for me, overall impressions of the game, very simple. If you do that against some of these other teams in the league that we would need to beat to go where we want to go at the end of the season, we got to do better. We got to do better in those outdoor games. That's my opinion. Nate, go ahead, my friend.
Well, no, to that, you have to give Jets 100% credit. The Jets are a top team defense. And the Jets' whole objective was to limit the big play. And if people paid attention the last couple of weeks, that the Lions, they talked about us scoring 30 points a game. And when we do this, the Lions have had 2 to 3 big chunk plays per game. 40-yard receptions, 40-yard runs, however it may be. But they end up with at least 2 or 3 of these a game. And the Jets running this cover 2 matchup zone was also one of the reasons why Sauce didn't get a chance to make a play. Their objective was to stop everything from getting over their head and take everything short.
Hey, and he on one side. He ain't moving from one damn side.
Right. And Sauce doesn't travel. So it played right into Jared Goff's hands. You played a game manager's game with a game manager. It's not like we had Stafford who would still try to force a ball deep to beat that coverage.
He gonna take with the damn offense.
Yeah, Jared Goff took exactly
defense.
And to me, that is the purpose of that. So yeah, it was an ugly, we didn't put up the points that we have been putting up. But again, that Jets defense is really good. And again, 0 turnovers. I will take that all day, every day. 0 turnovers from my quarterback. I mean, guess what? We're not being foolish with the ball. I'm not just trying, oh my God, I got to get this play. No, I'm going to take what y'all giving me and play smart football.
So,
and man,
sorry, go ahead, Nate.
Go ahead. I said, so I love it.
So, okay. So I guess my question to you, Nate, and I'm pretty sure I know your answer on this.
Mm-hmm.
If the Lions do what they did on Sunday against, and again, this is a hypothetical matchup because we don't know that we're in yet. We're leaning that way. But if the Lions had to go and play at Philadelphia,
mm-hmm.
do you think they'd win putting in the same type of effort they did on Sunday, or would you agree that we do need to play better and execute better outside?
Well, again, you're talking about two different types of defenses. Philly runs man.
And their line is nowhere near as good as the Jets line.
They're talking about, it's not so much that we didn't play better. We actually played not to lose.
Right.
So, yeah. So, and like I say, Philly's defense isn't even that hot as far as ranking wise. The only true defense that you really, really worry about in the NFC
49ers
is the 49ers. And they're outside. But guess what? If we meet them, we a game away from the Super Bowl. So I don't even care.
Okay.
I was looking at this a little bit differently.
Okay.
We lost to Philly earlier this year, first game, by 3.
Yep.
We lost to the Vikings by 4. Third game.
We lost the Seahawks by 4 also.
We lost to the Seahawks by 3, game 4.
Oh, okay.
We lost to the Dolphins by 4, game 8 or week 8.
Mm-hmm.
We lost to the Bills by 3.
Yeah, Patriots the only one put that thing on us.
The only 2 losses where I'm like, no, we just got flat out beat was New England and Dallas. Now, the crazy thing about this is with all the injuries, a definable talent gap. But like, clearly we have an issue in the secondary.
Right.
If we just had a competent secondary, a competent secondary in health, our record is actually going to be a lot different than what it is right now.
Right.
You're looking at a couple plays against Philly, that's a win. A couple plays against Seattle, a win.
Yeah, if we win 3 those 6 losses at the beginning, we win 3 those 6 losses at the beginning.
We lost to Buffalo.
We got 10 wins already.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mind a game like the Jets because the Jets were playing for something just like we were.
Yeah.
So they were gritty. They're a microcosm of what we've been.
Right.
True.
As far as like trying to grind the game out, making the dirty plays and stuff like that, the ugly plays. They don't have the offense that we have. But it's funny, they made more offensive plays than we did because our secondary sucks.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson was kicking a butt.
So just real quick, I just want to make sure that I'm being clear here. I'm not trying to put down the victory. I'm happy we got the win. I'm happy that we figured out a way to win. Because like you said, Reggie, traditionally that would be a game we'd figure out a way to lose it. My problem is the overarching situation of the fact that when we play indoors, we are one team. And when we play outdoors, it's like completely different. That's what scares me because we don't have home field advantage. Now, if we go through the playoffs and every single game we play is indoors, forget about it. We're probably going to win every single one of them games.
I'm more so of the cold, but like, say, what about if they, play? Like, what is the outside teams that's in the NFC? That's like, it's like cold teams.
49ers.
And, but it won't. I mean, I'll take our offense outside in the Bay Area before I'll take it in like against the Giants. Now, what you saying again? If we play against the Giants in New York, then that'll be a problem. But shoot, the Giants ain't gonna win their division. We ain't gonna see them.
You know what the funny thing is, fellas? I think the adjustment that will be made is we go to what has got us this far, which is running
the running ball.
Run the ball. We have an offensive line that allows us to run the ball. We have two running backs capable, or three, really, that's capable of running the ball. And then you just got to make timely plays in the passing offense. Like this is where Amir
moving passes
and the Cleve Raymond step up because they're possession receivers. So I'm not really, to tell you the truth, I'm not as worried about if we go.
Me either.
If Campbell makes the adjustment and says, "Look, we about to pound these dudes."
Yeah, I guess
we actually have a D line. We actually have a D line that can get to the QB now.
So
now if we was in the Elijah, if we was in the AFC, where we have to see Buffalo for sure or Kansas City,
Baltimore.
And to tell you the truth, Buffalo don't even scare me. Buffalo don't even scare me now.
I guess.
Well, you got to think about Buffalo still was missing some guys, but
I get it. But guess what? Their best players were playing. You had they QB played, Diggs played, and they had their top running back.
Yeah, but their running game's not nothing. It's more so with Buffalo is their defense. They Tre'Davious.
They secondary.
Tre'Davious White was that was his first game playing off of ACL. Micah Hyde. So they were. But again, like I say, I get it, but like I say, I'm not so much worried. What you do? I'm not so much worried about them outside, just because of the teams.
Only in the cold. Only in the cold.
They cold to me. The games on the road, they've been outside, and they've won, except one.
Yeah.
So and then hell, like if you win it in Chicago, we can't act like Chicago isn't cold. That game in Chicago they won was still cold as hell.
I forgot. It was barely though. Skin of their damn teeth. I agree with Elijah with the cold weather, but I don't think that's a factor in the NFC.
I don't think that's a factor as much. It's more so about the injuries. Because as long as you have Chark and these wide receivers that are healthy, guys, this is why you traded up to get a guy like Jameson Williams. Is because
he can be one-on-one. He gonna be one-on-one.
Exactly. Now, again, we just got to make sure that Goff only got to throw the ball between 35 and 40 yards, because anything over 42 or 41 and a half is
But
man, I did just like this when I was.
But just to close out impressions here, so that we can move on. I guess my issue, like I said before.
Well, you do this every episode, Elijah. You do this shit every episode.
What do you mean?
You pull up a topic and then you say something, then you get everybody got to talk about that. You do it all the time.
Well, my bad. But
you just good, man. You just good.
So my concern is, it just feels like we have a different team when we go outside than when we're indoors. Like, I don't know.
I agree.
Maybe.
But that's
I agree with that.
Let me finish my thought though. Let me finish my thought though. So when we're indoors, if we have a 3 and out, I don't feel like we're gonna immediately get another 3 and out on offense. Like, I feel like the next time we get the ball, we're doing something with it. In that Jets game, it just felt like, until we absolutely needed it, which, hey, that's an improvement in and of itself. I get that. I understand that. But until we absolutely needed it, we couldn't really do anything against them. That's the frustrating part to me. Is that
that cover 2 zone that they was running, it was meant to limit the deep plays. Like Josh, like Sauce was mad he didn't get targeted. Josh Reynolds did not get one target.
Yeah.
Not one. DJ Chark, I think, had one. That type of defense, that's why. That's so. Yeah, you might have felt like, okay, we're out of sync. No, it wasn't that we were out of sync. It's just the way that New York wanted to play us. So that also shows the growth of Dan Campbell. And again, shout out to Motor City Dan for out coaching Salah, because he Dan Campbell coached circles around him. He let his offensive coordinators and guys do what they want to do.
And Jared Goff not forcing that ball. They was tempting him to force it. Right. They was tempting him, and he used to do, because he could have easily tried to force it to Reynolds, because that's his guy. You know what I mean? And he stuck with the plan.
Okay, I got one more question before we move on. Reg, how many teams have we beat that are 500 this year?
I mean,
above 500?
Above 500 or above?
Oh, no. I know what you're going at, Nate. I think I know what you thank you too. I know what you're going at.
Why do I feel like this is going to get worked into a Stafford insult?
We're not about to play this Stafford game.
Hey, when I heard it, it was interesting. That's all I said. It was interesting.
You said interesting because Nate was going to bring it back around and be like, Stafford never did that.
Hey, so he did his whole career in 1 year.
You already know what my rebuttal to that would be.
His whole career in 1 year.
We don't want to go down that. We do not
his whole career in 1 year.
Hey, I'm just saying. Hey, even you got to think about it. We even went to the playoffs with a super talented team, and somehow
the number 2 defense,
and somehow
he had Sue and Fairley.
Listen,
he only had
DeAndre Levy.
What the hell is that?
Won
Slade Glover Quinn.
No,
he won 10 games against 500 or better teams.
There was no loop on that, Reggie.
Huh?
I don't know what you were doing, but it looked sexual, and there was no lube.
Shut the fuck up.
Huh? Oh, God. See, yeah.
That's what happened.
Wait, is it for kids? No.
We can move on. How about that?
All right, sounds good.
Okay, there we go. Okay, we can move on.
So we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to our prospect watch now. After all that, hopefully y'all enjoyed the show. Reggie was giving y'all. You can tip them. Onlyreggie.com. Anyway, so
Reggie's got an OnlyFans.
Hey. I had to upgrade to only air conditioning.
Anyway, it's called Put It Down for the Big Fellas.
Oh, you so down.
Okay, we're going to go prospect watch here. Bobby Bless and Reggie are going to be on camera. And if you remember a few weeks ago, we had Nate and I cover 2 of the college football playoff teams. Nate covered Georgia. I covered TCU. It's taken a couple weeks because of different things going on, but we have got Reggie and Bobby. They are ready to talk to you about the other 2 teams in the college football playoffs, some prospects they're looking at. Bobby's going to cover Ohio State. Reggie's going to cover Michigan. Bobby, you go first.
Yeah, brother. Everybody knows the best way to evaluate some talent is in big games, as we heard so many times from different TV shows, even our boy Deion Sanders. Big time players make big time plays in big time games. And when it comes to this college football, nothing get more big time than this 4-team tournament. And as of course, the top prospect on the Ohio State Buckeyes is CJ Stroud. Personally, I wouldn't say he's a prospect that I would want, but it ain't always about me. So, CJ Stroud would be a quarterback we could get. He's 6'3", so he ain't that small of a guy. Honestly, I think it's passing. I think his passing could be a lot better. It leaves a lot to desire, especially with his reading coverages personally. But I think he does have potential. If I were to draft that guy, CJ Stroud, he'd definitely be a guy I want to sit down, let get ready, mentor, similar like to a Jordan Love kind of thing. Have him get on the, learn a little bit before he get on out there. Not a fan of his speed. I typically like my quarterbacks a little faster than him, so he's definitely not a burner. But when it comes to that draft and that first round pick and the Lions, going in different directions and seeing that we got a replacement for Goff, or even like Elijah like to say all the time, a suitable backup for Jared Goff. CJ Stroud would be somebody I would look at. And the next guy I would like to talk about is Paris Johnson. 310 tackle, 6'6". I mean, he played a part, man. When you cast him for a left, say if they was gonna make Blindside Part 2, this is the kind of guy you want. Big guy, he got speed. He has a real good pass rating and run rating too. I think he's probably the second best tackle. They haven't been high commodities. Offensive tackle haven't been high commodities in these latest drafts. It seems more skilled players has come in there, defense, offense. But Paris Johnson is a kid that I think you could put in there and you probably can get him to play day one, depending on the various offense. But I like what we got. So I wouldn't draft him, but he is a good player, and I never want to sell him short. Because when you that big and that agile and that nimble on your feet, somebody gonna give you a check. So you gonna play on Sunday. And my boy Jackson Smith Enigma. I don't want to mess his name up, but he pretty good too. I'm a fan of his route running, and I'm also a fan of his contested catch. And guys that are good contested catchers, those are the guys you really want to use in the red zone, and especially on slants. You want kind of guys that's going to be able to catch the ball, and you want guys to be able to make plays, especially if you're going to draft a receiver in the first or second round. You pretty much want to draft him to be your number one receiver. I think we got a lot of playmakers right now. So he's definitely not a guy I think the Lions should want to be on the Lions draft board, but he is a guy to keep his name in your mind, because you don't want to see him go to nobody in our division. Some Ohio State receivers tend to be quick learners when they get to the NFL, and this could be a guy that we can hear about for the next 10 years, man, giving us headaches. But that's pretty much my prospect watch for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They, as you guys know, they're playing the Georgia State Bulldogs, so they're basically playing a semi-pro team if you get to drift a little bit. So these guys can really up their stock if they can have a good game with the whole country watching against the number one guys in football. So I'm gonna pass it to my boy Reggie. I know he got the that team up north, as we say in Ohio. What you got for us, big dog?
Okay. Now, when I was looking at Michigan's prospects, unlike Ohio State, I think they have more players that we would actually go for because they fit a need.
Okay.
So I was looking at the first prospect I was looking at was Maisie Smith. Interior tackle, 6'3", 337. The kid is what you would call a freak of nature. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because Bruce Feldman actually has what he calls his freak list.
What?
Yeah.
You on there, huh, Reggie?
And the number one prospect that he
Reggie
had
Funches is Reggie Funches on the freak list.
his number one guy on there was Maisie Smith at defensive tackle. And when I read this stuff off, you tell me what you think about this. Of course, 6'3", he's 337. He does 22 reps on the bench press, but that's not what 225.
That's not 225. Okay,
that's not what 225. That's what 325.
Damn.
So 22 reps of 325. His closed grip bench is 550 pounds. He has a vertical jump of 33 inches. He has a broad jump of 9 feet 4.5 inches.
And you said his vertical was what again, my brother? I mean to cut you
33
off.
inches. So he's hauling up 337 pounds, 33 inches.
Oh man, he'll break the you know what that remind me of? Tractor Trailer, man. Remember him? That's kind of big and agile.
He had a shuttle time of 4.41. And they said it will best any defensive tackle in the draft last year. It would have been better than any defensive tackle weighing 310 pounds or more in the last decade.
Damn. So
he has
he's
a
athletic.
Time of 6.95, which is by far the fastest among tackles at Indianapolis last year. And it's some other just freaky numbers, man. Like when I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous.
Mozzie Smith is a freak for real.
Yeah. And
he played multiple sports, huh? He played basketball kind of stuff. He didn't?
Nope.
Dang.
I will put it like
this. He athletic as hell.
One thing about Michigan, they like to implement different drills and tests for their players. So they have something that's called a combo twist machine. And the purpose of this machine is to show a player's ability to rotate an opponent, but also their ability to resist being rotated in the trenches. So, of course, that's pivotal for anybody that's a D tackle or anybody on the interior on offense or defense. So this machine has a 600-pound max. Smith operates at 600 pounds. And he does it like easily. So they actually contacted a private company to actually have it loaded up to 800 pounds in order to
just to give him a
challenge.
Yeah.
The more I hear about this kid, the more I'm like, I think I want him on our interior, taking the pressure off of Aiden Hutchinson, Okora, and everybody else, because
I can see him McMillan.
He's gonna be a load to deal with. So he's really like, if we have an opportunity to get this kid, I think that's somebody we need to go for, because he's gonna be a problem. Now the second guy that I was looking at fits another need, and that's DJ Turner. Now DJ Turner, I'm gonna give you his stats so you can have an idea of what I'm talking about. He's 6 foot, 180 pounds. He also runs a 4.28 in the 40. So Meals on Wheels.
I feel that.
He's rated as the fastest guy on the Wolverines. He hit 23 miles per hour on the GPS.
Dang.
He ran a 4.28 out of a 2-point stance. His three cone time is 6.29, which is only 0.01 seconds behind the combine record, which is 6.28 that was set by Jordan Thomas.
Yeah, Michigan got some athletes up there, man.
And that's basically what I'm getting at.
They got some
input somebody like Maisie Smith, and then you get somebody like Turner. Now you're talking about two freaks of nature, speed and power, which is we can use more of anyway.
Hey, what's their projection, brother? What's they?
When I was looking at,
especially my guy that they gotta get the weight machine adjusted for.
When I was looking at it,
and I really like that, and then not to even like to add on to what you're saying, Reggie. When you get all of that with that hardball coaching, NFL coaching, know how they supposed to look, he gonna make sure they at least look the part, So
when I'm looking at I'm looking at the position ranks. Turner they have ranked as the 17th best corner, so he's projected second round, late second round.
Yeah, third round.
Maisie is actually projected as a 4th round pick.
So what would be his not? He got an injury history or something like that? Because
it's just one of those situations where you see a player and scouts are looking at little things. So like with Turner, they think that he's a bit sluggish in his hips. So just like out of his back pedal.
Yeah.
For a corner that can always be problematic.
Turner playing pretty good because that's the first thing Nate always get on him about.
And that could be an issue too. Speed, but the thing is, if I'm in a back pedal and the guy's running past me, do I have enough mobility in my hips to make the adjustment to
turn around and get to my straight line speed?
And that's going to be the thing with Turner. And when you look at Maisie, they say he frequently fails to locate the ball in the run game, too often taking himself out of plays. And they want to see more of him in the pass rush, utilizing his speed that he has on the interior. So
speed.
And with him, I think that's less of an issue. You're talking about somebody that's at 337 pounds, that's capable of moving 800 pounds, and then on top of that, he has 4.8, 4.7 speed. Well, to tell you the truth,
how they online?
Those are the two main prospects I was worried about. I'm not worried about nobody from the O line because our O line is fine.
Okay.
That's what, because when it came to Ohio State, I was like, yeah, Stroud, whatever. Really need another wide receiver, with Jameson Williams and then we're kind of fine. To tell you the truth,
that offense
I wouldn't really draft anybody for the offensive side of the ball. If it was my draft to address, I'm going straight defense. If it was my decision to make.
Well, that's it for our prospect watch Ohio State Michigan edition. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it to Elijah, man, because Elijah, the point guard, man, he get us right where we need to be. So, what's up, Elijah? What we got going on next, brother?
So first and foremost, great job to you and Reggie. I thought you guys did a very good job on that conversation. Gave me and Nate a minute to be able to go do what we needed to do. So thank you guys for that, holding it down for us. So we are going to move on now to our merch alert. And we've got a few different websites, actually, that Bobby Bless is going to walk you through. He's like Santa. He's bringing in all the great merch this holiday season. So, my friend, I'm going to turn my camera off here so that we can showcase these websites. And I believe the first one, so that you can be prepared, Bobby, is going to be NFL Shop. So that's going to be the first one. So here we go. It should be on the screen. Bobby, tell me.
Yeah. Looks good. As you guys can see, as usual, NFL Shop is running a special, man, close to Christmas special, and like I said, guys, when it get close to Christmas, the first thing a lot of guys get worried about is it going to get to me by Christmas? Well, my wife ordered something yesterday for me. She wouldn't even show me what it is. Something I gotta wait till Christmas. Blah blah blah. But make a long story short, she ordered something from NFL Shop yesterday, and it came today. So, man, I guess the last couple years, with the COVID and whatnot, the shipping has been real bad, especially around Christmas time. But hey, I think these guys is handling their business this year. Even Nate and them at the USPS, they handling their business.
Hey.
Got Nate working. See, you're only doing your job because they got you working extra hours. So now we know the formula. Now we know why it was happening. But make a long story short, we're just gonna go through here And as you see, if you want to stop at that sideline gear for me, Elijah, if you want to scroll back up, as you can see, this is the hat and the little hookup that these guys was wearing against the Jets last Sunday. That if you want to click on that hat for me, because I actually don't know exactly what it says, Elijah. So I'm man, that hat is dope for real. And when I went to get my hat of the week for the win, man, I was kind of mad Liz ain't had that because I told him I want the hat they was wearing on the sideline. Oh, we got that one. So Liz, I wish they had an NFL shop store where I live, but make a long story short, that's gonna be one of the hats I'll get here soon. Opportunity, equality, justice, and freedom. Yeah, I'm down for all that. So especially with that Lions logo on there, I think that's gonna be a future purchase for me.
Yeah, that's
but
dope.
If you want to go, yeah, that is dope. And I would have snatched that hat off one of their heads if I could.
What is the back of it, Elijah? Can you rotate the
screen?
I
think it's a snapback. No. Oh, okay, it's fitted. So.
Oh yeah.
Hey, what's my hat size, Brenda?
Big.
7 5/8. That's my hat size. 7 5/8. So huh?
Almost an 8.
Yeah, hey man, hey, I'm telling you, man, they got that. I need to get that whole hook covered up, brother. So
hey man, 7 3/4, baby.
Yeah, you feel? You feel?
I am one size fits all.
I gotta stick all this brain somewhere, man.
Hey man, I tell the hat dude, let me get the hat like I got some braids, man. I need that one. I need all that room. But yeah, man, this is typically the stuff that's on sale. I like that golf jersey too. It's like a little camo looking thing. But yeah, man, this is stuff that's on sale right now. No, just because it's Christmas not too far away, people get concerned about the products not arriving on time. This stuff don't arrive on time, man. I think these guys at NFL Shop and all these other websites are really doing a good job making sure they don't mess up these people Christmas, man. And I really respect it. No, hey, Elijah, I bet they got $2. Price is right, $1.
$31.49.
Ooh-wee. Hey, where the gun at? Because they showed robbing somebody.
$30 for that Hawkins shit jersey?
Yeah. Where they hiding the gun at?
Oh man, that's funny.
They said I can
use that for some toilet paper.
They said they're gonna pay you 65. They're gonna pay you 65% to just keep it.
Look at that, $145 Hawkins jersey.
Ooh-wee. Man, ooh-wee. They wrong. I should call the Better Business Bureau on their ass for that one.
You probably had on discount because he's no longer part
that is nice.
That helmet, yes, it is. $150.
Now, why don't we wear this stuff? Like they make it, but they don't have the teams actually.
I think it is because the protection and stuff that comes in there that you got to have the certain certifications you got to have for these helmets now.
Yeah,
make it really, really expensive to do it for just more than just your regular helmet. You know what I mean? Because that's probably an awful lot of money to make.
They can afford it.
Yeah, they could if they really wanted to. They need a sponsor just like we do. But make a long story short, this is just one of the websites, NFL Shop. If you want to get the stuff that they wearing on the sideline, this is exactly what you want. And Elijah, did we get the Liz link this week? Did I send that one or didn't I?
Yeah, I've got 2 more, but I wanted to show off the jerseys for anybody looking for jerseys.
Okay, go right ahead, big dog. Yeah, these jerseys are typically like $150, like normally, to be honest with you. When you pay like $150 for a jersey, that lets you know that you're probably wearing the same thing that these guys wearing on the sideline. And then like me with the custom name, most of my jerseys that I wear, well, now has my name on them. So I definitely like that. Barry Sanders jersey is hard. And then you know what? Yes, with the both. Oh yeah, that's super sweet.
Huh?
For sure. Yeah, because I can wear me a blue and gray hat. That'd be right on time. But these jerseys, ain't no way. The best way to show that you're a real fan is wearing these jerseys, my man. I don't know. I have never seen a guy wearing an offensive lineman jersey. Like, so that's interesting to me. Have
Cool.
y'all
I'll be the first.
offensive line jersey? I mean,
It's
offensive
cool.
line jersey.
I'll be the first.
No.
Oh, you gonna get Panel?
It's gonna be a Panay. It's gonna be a Panay jersey.
Why they do them like that though? Because I feel like, man, they don't get their love like they deserve. We got a James Houston jersey. Okay, they ain't playing. That boy, he got jersey status already. All right, yeah, man, that's a bad dude.
5XL. Look out.
That's a bad dude. Yeah, I was talking to Reggie before we got started, asking, man, what's the knock on him? He was
in the kitchen.
look at that old. They want $300 for that old school Pro Bowl jersey. Did he sign it? What the fuck?
You want more champagne?
Yeah.
Did he sign it?
No.
What the hell? For 300? I don't know. I think that's kind of expensive.
I can sign it for you if you want.
Oh, give me 1 second.
Hey, you're unmuted again, my friend.
Okay, yep. I get you some.
Drinks on deck.
Yeah, drinks on deck.
Yeah, drinks.
Yeah.
The bubbly.
Okay,
Pop
so
champagne.
we got Fanatics on the screen, Bobby Bless. Fanatics is on the screen.
And it's really the same thing. It's kind of like the same stuff on there. But one thing about Fanatics, as Reggie can contest for you, that they look out for the big guys more than most of these other sites. The big and tall section is something to brag about, especially if it's hard to find gifts for the big guys in our lives. You know what I mean? Because to be honest, my dad is a Dallas Cowboy fan, and trying to find him a hat boy is hard. You think it's hard? You talk about my head, Nate. I guess I'm Big Head Junior.
He got that 8.0 boy.
Yeah.
Careful now.
Hey, you gotta give my dad the hat that the Rastafari wear, brother. Yeah, for real. But yeah, man. And it's like I said, they running this stuff, and that clearance sale, that's the little 70% off. It might not be the latest stuff, but that's the little stocking stuffers that you want real quick at the end of when you've done all the shopping and you want to feel the 70% off. Lion hats for $10-$12 and stuff. I was at the mall just looking at different stuff. There's a lot of merchandise when it comes to this NFL stuff, and the best way, a lot of people love their team, and to get that stuff under the tree for you, I swear that makes Christmas. I'm really excited about what my wife got me for Christmas, man, because I know it's something sweet. So just if huh?
Where she got the Packers hat?
She wouldn't. She wouldn't do me like that. Hey, but make a long story short, I know it's gonna be sweet. You want me to do you said do a box opening? Didn't you say that? Do that, Elijah?
I did. I did.
Box opening. That might happen, brother. But make a long story short, man, it's just when it comes to this merch, man, this is my thing.
Lids is on the screen, Bobby.
Yeah, I see. But with my guys at Lids, they really running a good special. I went in there yesterday and they got $10 hats right now. The hats that were originally, and I kind of want to kick myself in the head thinking about this though. But the hats that were originally was like $39 and $40 now around Christmas time, they selling them for $10-$15 just to clear up the inventory for the next year. And a lot of these stores, especially with the one I work at, like Walmart, they have a lot of leftover inventory for this year, and they will be giving it away for a lot of big reduced prices right now. So these big chains, I guess we're not having the sales that we want this year. So to make sure they get rid of this stuff to make room for more, they're giving 70% off discounts. You know what I mean? If you slow down just a little bit, my friend, I wanted to show you something. If you go back up to that hat that we were just at, yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Yep, the black one at the far left. Right, yeah. Click on that. So now you can see the reduced price. If you can scoot it up just a little bit more before we can look at the price of it, Elijah. Other way. Oh, it ain't showing the price. But make a long story short, that's like a $50 hat. And right now, I think what is going, if I'm not mistaken, it's going for like $28, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the kind of deals. That's the kind of deals you had. This hat right here is normally almost $50. You're getting it for 28, but that's not on top. That's not before you even add your lids discount. And your lids discount that you purchase for $5 for the whole year would turn that $28 hat and take off 20 more percent. So that'd be about, if I'm not mistaken, about $25 for a $50 hat. That's damn near 50% off.
You know what, Bobby? You know what I love about lids and fanatics?
What's up, big dog?
They definitely, the zip pay is actually dope. The 4 interest payments.
Oh, okay, yeah. Tell me about that, brother.
If I want to get a bunch of stuff in bulk, I grab a bunch of stuff in bulk, and then I just break it up into 4 payments, so I'm not killing my pockets when I go grab a couple jerseys, grab a couple.
Hey, I might have to check into that, man. They keep on winning. I might have to work out some kind of financial plan.
Hey, Bobby, you see that straw hat up there, didn't you? I see.
Oh,
that
hey, yeah.
Yo, you gotta get it. You gotta copy, homie. That next win.
Next
win, straw hat.
Hey,
listen.
I can't speak on it. I can't speak on it because I got somebody a gift like that, and I did purchase one. Sure did, but it wasn't the last one. And it ain't for my wife. It's for somebody else. I don't want to ruin it because everybody that love me watch the damn podcast, so I can't ruin it. But yes, all I can say, big dog, I'm fully aware of that hat. I seen it too, big dog. Yeah, man. Yeah, you know what? I'm looking. Look, hey, Elijah. All I see is win. We won that game. That's all I see. We won that. We won that game. Hey, you see that one right there at the third one? That's my next move. I'm telling you, I wanted that hat so bad. That half Cleveland Brown looking thing though, but that's sweet. That is super sweet. Heck yeah. So yeah, man. I even got my game hat. The game that we beat the Jets with. I even brought that hat with me. Right here. This is the same one they've been wearing on the sideline too, if I'm not mistaken, man. They've been wearing this on the sideline. Yeah, and it's getting cold, man. Gotta cover that hook up, man, and cover my ears up and stuff, man. So this is the game winning hat from the Jets, bro. Man, it's been a good week, man. I'm getting spoiled with these hats, man, and I ain't running out of money because I'm just staying at work a little longer for it. That's all. Shoot, I'm doing it for the Lions. I'm doing it for the Lions. They got me staying a little longer at work. That's all. I might want to stay an hour longer, 2 hours longer because I'm gonna protect us to get a hat. So I'm getting spoiled. I think I might cry our next loss, man. Knock on wood, because I ain't gonna be able to get no hat, man.
Did you hit yourself in the head when you said knock on wood?
Yeah, that wood, man. That's wood right there.
So, Bobby, quick question for you, and I think this might be interesting for our audience, depending on if there's a story behind this or not. But I was seeing on your Facebook recently, folks were commenting on your Bobby Bless number 25 jersey, and sometimes when people see number 25 for the Lions, if they've watched them recently, they might say, "Oh, that's a Theo Riddick jersey." But I was just curious because you had said no, it's a Bobby Bless jersey. So what is so significant about that number 25?
When I turned 25, man, I changed my life around. Not to really get it all the way into it. All I can say is, man, I had a real bad attitude. I was negative. I definitely the bizarro me now. At the age of 25, I realized that how blessed I was, and someone told me, if you know Bobby, you know he's blessed. So it stuck. The best name, the best nicknames. All I can say is the doctor had gave me that name. So the best nicknames are the ones you don't pick for yourself. So when he said Bobby Bless, I think that stuck with me, man. Just because with not getting too much into my situation, um, it had to be more than just it had to be Bobby being blessed that got me through it. And if you were to tell me now, when I was 25, that my life would be going as well, that I'd be happily married, I guess the Lions winning, but no. But if you would have told me back then, that I'll be living the life that I do now, I wouldn't have believed you. I thought you would have been one of those guys that just giving me a positive pep talk just to keep my mind at ease. But now I'm the guy giving the positive pep talks, keeping people's mind at ease. So I spoke being blessed. I think I can say my change of heart. What helped my change of heart was just the two P's. I was talking to you about it yesterday in our meet. The two P's, being positive and patience. There's not too many things in life where if you have a little bit more positive and a little bit more patience, you can get through it. I feel like without being positive and patient, I'm my own enemy. So to mark the change of my lifestyle, and as I also say, the year I put Jason in the basement would be 25. So if you know Bobby blessed, if you know Bobby, you know he's blessed. And I changed my life around. I'm in my life around at the age of 25, and I'm actually better for it. I actually kind of remember the exact moment and when I did, and it's just let you know, no matter what anybody say, only person that's going to help your situation is you. And if anybody on the exterior is going to help your situation, it's going to be God. Yeah. So along with the God and just straight perseverance, hey, Bobby's blessed. That's pretty much where it's from, brother.
I appreciate you sharing that, Bobby. Because like I said, I just thought that was interesting. I'm like, every time somebody comments on there, he's always like, no, that's a Bobby Bless jersey. So I thought there might be a good story behind that. So Bobby, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, man. If you know Bobby, you know he's blessed. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it one day in our meeting, because I don't really like talking about it like that.
No worries.
But with my brothers, I will.
We are going to be moving on here to our SVA and our SBA here with Nate Rucker. So I'm
sorry, Nate. I couldn't do the videos, Nate. I couldn't do the videos. I'm sorry, brother.
It's all good. It's all good, because first we got our stupid boy. Oh my God. Where do we really start, man? I'm so glad like the big baloney's gone, but I'm really wondering if he really had them Patriots out there trying to do the hot potato.
I think he did.
Well, the only thing they had to do was just lay on the ground and go to overtime.
Oh
my God, man.
But they weren't expecting it, though, guys. They weren't expecting it. We caught them off guard.
Man. Oh, man. Listen.
I know Belichick is like, man, I should have left his ass in Detroit. That's probably what he fucking said.
Somebody getting fired.
Yeah. So that was the first part, man, is watching these guys try to do what they call it, the Music City Miracle.
Yeah.
No, the Music City. No, they call it what they call it. My dude Scott Van Pelt call it the ya woochie something shit. The ya get you something.
Man,
just throwing them around, man. Oh my God, man.
All around. These guys, you're going to overtime.
Right.
You're not even losing. You're tied.
Right.
You are literally tied. And so y'all do the Uchiwali with the ball. Chandler Jones picked it up and then spikes Mac Jones.
Man, he dogged Mac Jones, man. He ran Mac Jones right over. Hey, you know what that remind me of? Remember when we was younger, we watched Looney Tunes and somebody get hit like by a car or something, they just go smack right across the damn road. He should be embarrassed by that, man.
Oh, I mean,
he needs some milk.
He definitely needed some milk. So now we go for that second segment. Elijah, go ahead and give them what they want to hear, dog. Where's my theme music?
J Squad.
Oh, here it goes. Oh God. Somebody get McCoy.
Oh, my bad. Got a little carried away with my So, our SVU, our special victim, was also part of our stupid boy, and it was Mac Jones again. He got power bounce like Shaq dribbling with two hands before he got ready to tear the rim down.
Yeah, that's how it looked too.
Yeah, that poor guy.
My man got hit hard. My man got hit so hard he just got knocked into two segments.
Man, man, he's Super Boy and a victim.
Man,
what was he thinking, man?
Dude, and listen, and it was for the game. It was for the
type of stuff that can't happen, dog. You can't let stuff like that happen.
Man, listen, it was almost like a hate crime. He bounced his ass.
Somebody called the fans.
Man.
Wait. What they say on Waterboy? Who that?
Who that?
Who that? Who that?
Who that?
Who that?
He needs some milk.
I've never in my life seen no shit like that, man. Like maybe like a little kid that's sweeter than everybody in like Pop Warner, Pee Wee. But no, not in the pros. You know what I mean? You like when you get hit like that, you want to check the kid's birth certificate type shit. Like,
right. Like, it's no way this dude was 12 years old. Like, dog,
Matt Jones 12. Matt Jones 12.
Look, that was one of them hits where literally in Pop Warner, they stopped the game and instantly want the birth certificate. Like,
nah, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way, dog.
Show me them numbers.
Dog, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
I know that. Hey, listen. Hey, I bet you that's how they did Ziggy after his first injury.
Oh yeah. Man, we got to check, man.
Huh?
I ain't gonna tell you about, they said the hospital where Ziggy was born didn't even keep documents. How they really know how old he is.
Right. Oh,
that's funny.
Our second part of our SVU belongs to Mr. Barrios of the Jets.
AKA PD Pablo. That's what me and Reggie call him.
Put your flag in the air, spinning around like a helicopter. James Houston hit this boy so hard, he looked like a tiddlywink in it. Like just a little
one
spinner.
of them fidget spinners. That's how they looking.
Just blow it. Just keep, just like I said, well, damn.
No.
James Houston is coming on strong. He's out here inflicting punishment. James Houston was a bad boy. So, and then the last part of our SVU, I
couldn't even defend it. Man.
Even though we got the win. I was hoping Jared Goff would have came out and said he needed Tommy John surgery because that right arm is struggling. That right arm is a true special victim. That mud tops out at 40 and a half yards. It's like the bottom falls out of the plane when the ball.
Every single time he throws the ball, I'm like, dang, he look like he launched that, and the ball just does this. I'm like, dang, what do you have to do, bro, to throw it over 41 yards?
Man, I'm probably the biggest Jared Goff supporter on this show. And I just was like, damn, dude, what the hell, dude?
No,
like,
you done threw this guy 2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Like, dog, I mean, we all know he fast. We know this. But God, dog. Like maybe he need to do like them the Dak Prescott warm up with the get his hip in it.
Get my hips, baby. This is my hips.
Yeah.
My hips.
Oh, you got to do the Prescott. Do the Prescott.
Hey, Elijah, you think you can find it real quick so we can see the Prescott?
Please. No, we don't want to get any copyright infringement, brother.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it for you real quick. Let me see here.
Please, you gotta find the Prescott. Because Jared Goff definitely needs to practice this.
You know what? I'm still thinking about burials, dog.
He was
so hard and made him spin. He made me start going to go do my laundry, dog. I'm about to put this on the spin cycle. This is ridiculous.
That boy, his feet went one way and then they went the other way, and it's like they almost met in the middle.
Hey, James Houston nickname, what you say it was again?
The problem?
Yeah. It fit.
Yeah, it definitely does, dog. Because right now,
that one fit for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Get your hip in it. Jared Goff, if you watching this, you got to get your hips, man. You got to work on your hip flexor.
Y'all so damn good.
You know, my hips don't lie, and I'm starting to.
The size of my body.
All right, y'all.
I hate y'all.
You segment, right?
That boy out there like Shakira. Boy, look at it, Shakira.
We go
here.
That's a mean stroke.
That's
a mean stroke.
We go ahead and send this back over to our point guard of the squad, Elijah. Man, take it from the top, dog.
Oh man, so we still have a little bit more show to go here on your On the Hump podcast tonight. I do want to remind you, we do have that contest going on. Once we hit 350 subscribers, we're going to be giving away an Apple Series 3 watch. And how you win that watch is, you got to send $500 to my personal bank. I'm just kidding. No, you don't have to do that.
What? Okay.
I'll split it with you, Nate. Anyway, so here's the deal. What you actually have to do, all jokes aside, it's super simple. You just got to help us get more subscribers. That's all. And whenever you help us get more subscribers, those people that you bring need to let us know that you brought them. Okay. That way we can make sure to count them for you. That way you earn as many as you can. The person who brings us the most new subscribers wins that Apple Series 3 watch. Like I said, it's super simple. It's not going on the wheel. It's not done lottery style. It's literally just the majority wins. Okay, so make sure you're bringing us those subscribers. We're up to 282, and just 2 months ago, we were at 60. So thank you for supporting our studio, supporting our show. It means a lot. What we want to do right now is we want to get into a discussion about Brad Holmes, because you know what? When you have a good general manager, you shouldn't wait till the off season to discuss how great that person is. You should actually celebrate them all throughout the year. So here's what we're going to do right now. We're kind of go freestyle with this, but I want to put up on the screen the selections from this year's draft class. That way we all have access to the players that were drafted. I think we all know them by heart, but I just want to make sure that we know them as well. So just real quick, guys, who would like to go first on this topic? Speak out for me so I can hear you.
Of course, I'll go. Y'all know me. It's all good.
All right, Nate, play.
Well, like I say, man, it's one of those things that we told people even when the team was 1-6, is that this is their second year of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. And as you know, we talked about the hard knocks. Elijah, you brought it up like, hey, the hard knocks show a part of the team that really got people hooked in. It completely sucked them in. But we didn't want them to forget that there's still a talent gap. And Brad Holmes hit on all 6 of his draft picks. I never ever paid attention to mock draft grades or anything. So when I went back, Brad Holmes was given an A+ in last year's draft. And you know, we had, of course, pick number 1, Aiden Hutchinson. Number 2, Jamison Williams. Number 3,
that pick, Jamison Williams pick, was very criticized too.
Yeah. Number 4, Kirby Joseph. Number 5, James Mitchell. Number 6, Rodrigo. Number 7. Number 8. We ain't got to 8.
She counting.
Yeah. No, she said number 8 was her.
Oh.
Number 7, James Houston. Number 8 is Chase Lucas. Chase Lucas is the only guy that we have not seen during the regular season. But out of all this, like Bobby said, the most scrutinized pick, what are you doing? The most scrutinized pick was Jamison Williams, because a lot of people looked at the fact that the Lions traded 2 picks to move up to number 12. But we went through this during our podcast earlier in the year, and essentially we just traded the same 2 picks that we got back for a starter, a guy who's going to take off the top, who's going to stretch this offense, which we have already seen. Unfortunately, Jared Goff can't get the ball there, so we just got to get Jameson to slow down a little bit, so that
ain't scared to block either. He ain't scared to hit either.
Right.
But got to throw that in there too.
Man, it's the whole dynamic from the way that Brad Holmes has built this team. They all fit Dan Campbell's personality. Like, everybody plays hard. It's crazy when you have a team full of wide receivers that love the block. Like, if I'm not mistaken, they got a pool in the wide receivers room for who has the block of the year. That's the crazy. So it's like, man, you cannot beat that. So, man, Brad Holmes has done an excellent job. A lot of people were upset. They thought it was the same old thing when they were 1-6. But again, you know, you have to give things time. Yes.
We have a nice meal.
Oh, okay. Sorry, y'all. Kinsley, my attention. Sorry, y'all. But yeah. So that's my take on it, man. Like I say, Brad Holmes has done a great job. The future of this team is bright. Like, it's bright. Even when you look at the free agents that he's bought in, a lot of people didn't like him. Oh, well, you didn't do this and you didn't get that guy. What people have to remember is that you can make offers all day long. If you're not winning, players aren't going to accept it. So it's not that, you know, he wasn't spending money or not reaching out. People weren't hyped about coming to Detroit. So hopefully this continues to change, man, and we continue to move forward. So again, I love it, Brad Holmes. Keep it up. So, hey, whichever one of you guys want to get it off your chest, put it in the air.
Bobby, you're up.
Nate did such a good job on them draft picks like he always do, man, because you know he's the #1 scout / defensive coordinator on the show. But
hey.
make a long story short, I want to get into the aspects of actually giving a brother a chance. If you guys get my drift, Brad Holmes is African American. One of my brothers. So I think it's a real. It's hard for him to get a chance, and a lot of times when they get chances, they get handcuffed. But the thing I remember when Brad Holmes was first hired, he said, "Hey, I know all these players in the draft. I know who do this, who do that." So he's not really worried about the coronavirus, especially like with our guy Panay Sewell.
Right.
Yeah, because he didn't play the year before we picked him, so there was a lot of question marks with him. And when I especially remember when we was picking, a lot of guys wanted the Chase kid that went to Cincinnati, right? What's his name? Jamar Chase. We were predicted to get him. I don't know if I was disappointed or surprised or just didn't know what was going on by selecting Panay Sewell. And I actually think that was a good pick amongst others. But when you got an African American guy, and pretty much with anything else, any job in this country, unfortunately, that guy has to do 10 times better than his other counterparts. So him actually, our team, yeah. But make a long story short, I don't even want to go that direction. But to get to what I was saying is that this team was, as Reggie always say, was so depleted with talent that the fact that we are doing as well we is his instant impact performing draft picks. And we can talk about the draft picks, but he also hit on these free agent guys like a healthy DJ Shark, like a Deshaun Elliott. Those guys are coming to make real significant impacts. And if we wouldn't have those guys if we didn't have Brad Holmes. So the fact that we're headed in the right direction, and the fact that you got to give Brad Holmes credit, because from what I hear, it's not him with the final decisions. It's him as a conglomerate guys of picking that. So that means him and Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes working well together. And to be able to do the group project with others is a great skill, to be honest. And I just respect the fact that even though he obviously not letting his ego and his pride interfere with getting this team headed in the right direction. And he doesn't say much, but from what I've seen of Dan Campbell, my guy Brad Holmes in the draft room and on Hard Knocks, he a passionate guy. You know what I mean? Even when he picked Jameson Williams, yes, and he getting the guys he want. They performing for him, and as the years and the days go on, I think we got a bright future ahead of us if they can keep these guys. If these guys can stay online, and even down with he letting the coaches coach. He letting the players play. He don't have an agenda. Just because I drafted this guy, I want to see him. Like he letting these guys grow on their own. Even like James Houston. Like, where was this guy when we were 1-6? So now that he's learning, these youngsters are with these former players. I think that's also contributing into these rookies' instant impact, because the guys that was coaching, they were all in these guys' shoes, and with Brad Holmes knowing what his hand is, because as he said, he knows these draft boards like without a doubt. So I'm willing to bet he does his homework, and I probably think he'd probably even do good with my guy Reggie's numbers too. So Reggie, what you got to say about it, brother? Mr. Brad Holmes.
Look, man, production is production. And for a team that, just annually messed up draft picks, to see somebody nailing 6, 7 draft picks, from top to bottom, getting guys that either are starting on this team or are contributing on this team massively.
Legitimately contributing.
Legitimately. Like James Houston, right now, he done moved himself to being in a rookie of the year conversation, which is crazy. Like I want to say he got more sacks than Thibodeau, right?
He does.
Yeah, and he playing hard on even on special teams, man. He ain't no one trick pony. He a football player. Rodriguez on special teams. All them guys. Yes.
And this is one of those situations where, yes, we do have a talent gap. That is obvious. But we have a guy that's shoring up the talent gap with his draft picks. He's not missing right now. And then now you're making it to where a team that was 1-6 is now 7-7. Now you get national notoriety for how good you're doing. Now free agents are going to start saying, he might be the type of guy I want to play for. Because all people have been talking about is, man, Dan Campbell, now that's a coach I run through a wall for. That's all his players have been saying. He makes them want to grind hard for him. So that makes it to where free agents' ears are going to start burning. So right now, my man is doing his job. And right now, between him and Troy Weaver, I got
Weaver. That's the Pistons guy, right?
Yep.
That's the Pistons guy, right? Yeah.
I got home.
And they cool too. And they friends.
They're friends. It's just exciting to see, man. And when you start talking about like Jameson Williams and stuff like that, like people had an issue with the pick. The only legitimate issue that you could say about this pick right now is Goff can't get him the ball. That's the only issue that you can pull up for me.
Yeah, that's it. Look, his one touchdown, he had to wait for that to get there.
Yeah, caught it like a punt.
That's the only issue you can say. We just don't have a QB that can give him the ball. And honestly, to tell you the truth, what I think is going to start happening, I think eventually Ben Johnson's going to start creating some plays to get him out in space and let him use his speed that way, instead of just, throwing it to him.
Yeah, I can see that little slants and dig routes.
Little slants and stuff like that.
Screens, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that'll come as it go because he's still trying to put the mental with the actual being on the field, where I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to get there, and how I execute from that point. And then he's still low on the pecking order too. Like this still the Amon-Ra Swift show.
Right, and that's the crazy part. When you think about his draft picks from last year.
Yeah.
I think Elijah should have that up, but you're talking about
and that was the COVID guy. That put so much work. These scouts had to work hard last year because they wasn't playing football, man. Didn't nobody get a whole season.
Right. So you're talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown. We know who he is. Derek Barnes, he's rounded into his own. Now, Melifonwu's been up and down due to injury, but Aleem McNeil, consistent. And Penei Sewell, Levi did break his back, so I'm not sure what they're going to do about him. But Levi, he was in the rotation last year due to injury. We have not seen him. Melifonwu, the same thing with him. Jamar Jefferson, if I'm not mistaken, was on the practice squad. But hell, that's still 1, 2, 3, 4 hits out of 7.
So his best draft pick is St. Brown.
Yeah, I don't know because you got to think about it.
Aiden is literally he's vying for that position right now.
And then like you say, and then Penei, he's a top 5 right tackle in the league in his second year. And then can we really say? I mean, what do you think about the impact of Rodrigo?
Yeah,
you think about like it's so impactful. Like we're so used to the guys. Y'all remember Jordan Dizon and Michael LaSure, Titus Young.
Oh my God!
Right.
Not only is he out of the league, my man's a special needs case.
Right. Amir Abdullah, Zach Zenner, Dwayne Washington. Oh my God.
Hey, Elijah, what you got to say about it, brother? I know we don't want to leave you out.
So before I get to my thoughts on Brad Holmes, I want to actually pose a question for our audience, because I think we just saw an example of how that naturally just came up in the show. We didn't plan to do a question of the day, but I think we just found our question of the day. So I'm gonna turn my video off and I'm gonna ask the question here, folks. The question is for you. What is the best draft pick the Lions have made in the last 2 years, in your opinion? We'll go through the
You're welcome, Elijah. You're welcome. You're welcome.
So you look at the 2021 NFL draft class. It's on the screen right now. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to look at that here before we turn it over to the 2022 draft class. So hopefully you're looking at those right now.
I got St. Brown because he's doing stuff the receivers has never done before.
Okay. So that's Bobby's
pick.
But again, we want to know your pick in the comments below. But that's the 2021 NFL draft class. Here's the 2022. And what we want to know is, in your opinion as a Lions fan,
that's a stacked ass draft class.
Hey, that's crazy.
That's a stacked ass draft class.
Yeah.
But as a Lions fan, who's the best? We don't want, here's my top 3. We want to know who is your best player that you think Brad Holmes has drafted in these 2 draft classes. And that's
I'm taking Sewell.
for you to figure out.
I'm taking Sewell.
So let me go ahead, because I think you've been able to see the picks here for long enough. Let me go ahead and turn my camera back on, and I'll try to be as brief as I can be, but I got a lot to say about Brad Holmes. So first up, I want to say that Bobby Bless needs to be evicted from my brain, because he literally went exactly where I was going to go. Look, it's no secret that, unfortunately, there's not a ton of African-American general managers. There's not a ton of African-American head coaches. And Bobby's exactly right. When they do get a job, it's usually a shit show. And then they're blamed for not being able to pull the team far enough back to relevance. Well, I'm sorry. Like we like to say at the radio station, I can play a hell of a song on a 6-string guitar, but when you ask me to play that same song on a 2-string, it ain't gonna happen like that. So, I totally agree with what Bobby's saying.
Maddie, you in the kitchen?
I'm happy that Brad Holmes has taken advantage of this opportunity, and he has done the very best that he can with this situation, and it seems like it's going really well. The other thing I would say is that I would imagine that he had a very frustrating time last season. As we all did, kind of watching everything. But he did this thing the right way. And here's what I mean. He didn't go out and get the flashy free agents, because he knew if he did, that's not going to be long-term success. If there is any success at all, it'll be short-term. You'll win like 6 games, and you'll have to go right back to the drawing board a few years later. So he decided to do the hard work, which was, let me draft those pieces and let these players develop. A lot of the guys that are making big plays this season were not making big plays last season, and they learned from the experience they got last season. So I think that was very smart on Brad Holmes' part to develop all those players like Khalif Raymond, who last year was one of our top receivers. And now this year, look at all the things he's able to do, because he got that valuable experience. We have plenty of cases like that, where we had gotten guys who were special teams players for other teams. We gave them an opportunity to actually get some meaningful reps at their position, and now they're actually contributing. So I certainly know that's a hard way to do it, but I'm glad that Brad Holmes chose to do it the hard way, so that we can have more players who are ready to go game in and game out. The one thing that I'll be looking at moving forward, and this is looking ahead at least 2 years here, I want to see, number 1, can he keep up the amazing draft classes? And number 2, can he re-sign the players who have gotten us where we are? That's
exactly.
Me, I don't want to move the goalpost on Brad Holmes. I don't want to be accused of moving the goalpost. But to me, if you're going to be a good general manager, you got to be able to draft talent, and you got to
keep them here.
You have to be able to bring people here, and you got to be able to keep them here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, you already know when his rookie contract is done, he's going to have a lot of teams that are interested in his services. Same thing with Jameson Williams, same thing with Aiden Hutchinson. And that, to me, is where we're going to find out, is Brad Holmes one of the best GMs in the NFL? Because we already know he's a good one, but is he one of the best? Can he get that done? Again, he's got a few years where he's got to make any type of decisions like that. The one that's, right in front of us that we have to make a decision on is Jared Goff. And I'll be interested to see what they do with that, because I don't think Jared Goff gets, biggest contract in the NFL for a quarterback from Brad.
He better not.
But if he does, here's kind of a question for you guys. If Brad Holmes, who does love Jared Goff, if he gives him a big old bag of money, are you trusting Brad Holmes that he knows what he's doing?
I will throw a dent in it.
It would definitely tarnish everything that I've thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not like I told you, I'm a Jared Goff supporter, but I ain't trying to make Jared Goff the richest thing to ever pop it. Hell no. No.
So for me,
he's too flawed as a QB to do that.
So for me, I would say I would trust Brad Holmes. And I know that might sound crazy, because I've been the guy who's been saying we need to draft somebody all season long. But at this point, I mean, I feel like he deserves our trust until
if he get to the NFC Championship, you can pay him whatever you want. But it got to be something.
To tell you the truth, the trust ain't on Brad Holmes. Is, do you trust Goff? And I don't trust Goff.
I think as far as the last few games are concerned, I do trust Goff. He's not going to put the ball in harm's way. Unfortunately, though, that also means that sometimes you're not going to get that big play that you desperately need, because he's not doing, sometimes with danger comes opportunity, right? We've seen that before, where quarterbacks throw their way back into a game. He's not that guy, but Brad Holmes didn't build that type of team either that relies on the quarterback saving our ass every single game.
Now, that's the other part of that, though, too, because if y'all paid attention to what happened when he was in LA, the team that he was around really protected him from his mistakes. Right. Because he had that level of talent. We ain't got that level of talent yet. We don't have that type of defense yet to say, hey, Goff, just manage the game and we'll win the game in other ways.
Right.
That's not the type of QB he is. And then if you're going to maximize guys like Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams, well, specifically Jameson Williams, you got to get somebody that can get them the ball.
Hey, look.
Really, you could ask, do you trust Ben Johnson?
So here's my thing with Ben Johnson. I'm hoping that he sticks around. I don't know that he will. I mean, we talked about this on our Facebook Live, and I definitely don't want to deviate too much here, but for me, if I'm Ben Johnson, look, how do I put this? So I coached at a much lower level of football. You guys have heard me say that a lot, right? The thing that I am connecting between my experience and Ben Johnson's experience potentially is the fact that it is a different situation when you go from being one of the coaches to being the coach. And if you're not careful, it is very easy to get in over your head. Ben Johnson's been a play caller for not even 365 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he'll be brought in for some interviews at the end of the season. I can't imagine that he wouldn't be. But if I'm him, I'm taking a look at the situation and I'm saying, listen, I can bet on myself and I can say, look, I'm just that freaking good. I can call plays with anybody. Or I'm saying, you know what? This Lions team is pretty special. And I like what I'm doing over here. Maybe I should get some more experience before I go and use my opportunity to head coach. Because remember, I mean, you only get one, right? You only get like one or two opportunities to be a head coach in the league. So if he goes right now after not even a full year of play calling and he screws it up by losing, he's going to end up having to be somebody's ball boy for the next 10 years. So if I'm him, it's not just about the money. It's about what is the talent like on whatever team is interviewing me? What is the support going to be like? And do I think that I've had my best years that I've put on my resume? I don't think he can say that yet because, again, his resume is not that deep when it comes to offensive coordinator. So for me, if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm sticking around. But that is a question mark for me. Is does Ben Johnson stick around? Are they able to sign Jared Goff to a team-friendly deal? But the biggest thing for me with Brad Holmes is, can he keep it up with the drafting? Can he get the free agents here? Because we got a lot of money to spend next year. So I'll be curious to see how he spends that. And thirdly, can he get these rookies when it is their time? Can he get them paid or figure out a way to keep that talent? Because if he can, we're going to be a monster. If he can't, it's going to be frustrating for us because we're going to feel like a farm system, like in Major League Baseball, where you get the talented rookie and then they just start getting good and they decide to go somewhere else. So I'll be curious to see what happens with that. And honestly, I think that's one of the things that held back Martin Mayhew. And I know that a lot of people don't necessarily like Martin Mayhew, but for me, I liked what he did. What I didn't
He's better than Bob Quinn.
But what I didn't like was the fact that he couldn't convince his guys to stick around. Yes, he paid Matthew Stafford oodles of money, but he couldn't get Sue to stick around. And so that to me, like, if I had to make that business decision back then, I would have said, listen, Stafford's okay, but Sue is a focal point of that defense. We can't let him walk.
That wasn't on him. That was on what his name was? Nate?
Tom Luan.
Yeah, Luan. That wasn't on.
I get it. Yeah, no, but that wasn't on Mayhew. Mayhew wanted to get the deal done. And Dominican Sue switched agents. And then Tom Luan followed that up with the comment of, I want to see what a motivated Sue plays like for a contract. That was part of it. And then when Sue seen that they paid Matthew Stafford, that let him know that the defense would not be prioritized.
Yeah.
And those were the two things that, why Dominican Sue left. Matthew Stafford got paid, and that let him know that the defense was not a priority. And also, Tom Luan did not get his contract done. He felt disrespected. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean motivated? How much more motivated do I gotta be? I'm knocking every quarterback's head off.
Right.
Before and after the whistle.
And I think that could potentially happen again. Because we do have a lot of talent, and they came in right around the same time as Aiden Hutchinson. So you're going to have a lot of guys coming into that office looking for a big old bag of money, which they will deserve if they keep playing like they're playing right now. And the question for Brad Holmes is going to be, how do I appease everybody?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be really hard to do. But that for me is where I'm at with Brad Holmes. I love what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love what he's doing. But for me, the next mile markers on this journey with him, how does he handle the Goff situation? Can he keep drafting really, really well, especially in those later rounds? And when it does come time to start paying some people, how does he handle that? That to me is what's going to determine it. But so far, A+. So far, A+ for Brad Holmes. I'm so happy for him, and I hope this opens some eyes across the league because there are many talented individuals who are just simply not getting the opportunity that they deserve to have. Right off the top of my head, I can think of Byron Leftwich. I can see Byron. Byron, I think, deserves a shot.
Eric Bieniemy should have then gotten the shot.
Yep.
Man, Steve Wilkes didn't even get his real shot. They fired him in one fucking year, and they made him try to win with what was that sorry ass quarterback Arizona had?
Josh Rosen.
Rosen. Man, stop.
So
yeah, it was one more. Brian Flores. You see how they did him in Miami?
Yep.
Like, you completely, like, oh man, I'm going to give you such and such amount of money if you lose so many games. Like,
man, come on.
What?
And this is not a show where we usually talk about other teams, but I'll throw this out there real quick because this is something that personally irks me, and there's not a whole lot in this world that irks me. These guys will tell you that. But one thing that pisses me off is that Todd Bowles at the end of this season is going to get blamed if the Buccaneers don't make the playoffs. And I'm sorry,
Agreed.
they put that man in a shitty situation. Because you look at that team, every single person on that team thought that Tom Brady wasn't coming back. And so they did not work out as much as they probably would have in the offseason. Their running back came in at 260 pounds for training camp. I mean,
they lost. And then they lost 2 of their offensive linemen.
Right, but at the end of the year, mark my words, Todd Bowles is going to get blamed for this. He shouldn't be, but he's going to get blamed for it, because I'm sorry, but you would not, and I don't want to go too far here, but you would not put somebody, I'm just going to say it, you wouldn't put somebody in my skin color in that position where they're coming in basically halfway through training camp.
Right.
Agreed.
You wouldn't do that. So that's where the NFL's got to get better. And I know the NFL recently held a meeting with all of their owners, and they literally did a team-by-team report of all the guys that they're paying to coach who are not actually coaching, all the guys who got fired over the years, to kind of show them maybe some of y'all either need to be more patient or y'all need to be more prudent when you're making your choices. So I think that'll be interesting to see if that report does anything. But again, Todd Bowles, I feel bad for him. I think he is a good coach, but I think he got the raw end of that deal. And if they fire him, I'm very upset about that. That's just me. So let's take a look here at our preview of the Panthers as we're moving on here.
Great segment, though, too, guys. That was a good job. I like that.
We're going to start off with Reggie for our preview of the Panthers. And Reggie, what are you looking at with these Panthers who have proven to be pretty feisty?
You lose, they're going to be pissed.
Yeah, you're going to be pissed.
Really, they really started the running game with them. With not Foreman, that's really going to set the tone. They do have a solid defense, though. So this is they're not as talented as the Jets are, but they like you said, they're feisty. They can make a game rough on you if they come to play. So it's going to be one of those. This is another situation where Ben Johnson and this offense are going to have to show that they can make adjustments on the fly in game, because I have a feeling this is probably going to be one of those 25 and under for each team type games, not 30 plus for each. So I don't know. It's going to be one. I think this could be one of those grinding games, but it's still a game that we should win, which is a great thing for me to be able to say
in December, brother.
Like, whoever thought that we could be in December and say this is a game we should win?
Almost Christmas. Almost Christmas.
Well. So,
yep.
It's
we gotta win it, huh, big dog?
Yeah, this is a game we should win. I'm not like this. How I felt like we should have beat the Jets. Yeah, this is a game that we should definitely win. They're not as good as the Jets. Our offense is definitely better than theirs. Our defense is starting to show up. I hope Deshaun Elliott is able to play. This secondary does not need any more at all. So that's the situation where I'm at with it. Nate, how you feel about it?
Man, I think this is definitely a game that we should win, especially with the way we've been playing. They do have a couple of players that you have to be very concerned with.
Brian Burns.
Brian Burns, DJ Moore, but then they also have a couple of very good running backs, man. You have to, you definitely have to pay attention to them. I still think we should win this game 27-14. Bobby should get his victory formation, have to buy another hat, and we continue to march on. So we definitely just have to take care of business. Like I say, If we win out, there's a 96% chance that we make it to the playoff. If we lose one, it goes from 96% to 58%, depending on which team we lose to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, we realistically, we only can lose one game. Only one.
Please don't let it be.
I would definitely hope it's not to the Panthers.
Or the Bears.
Ain't or the Bears, or definitely not even Rodgers. Because
definitely not the Packers.
That smirk he did yesterday, like some payback. Like, listen, your name isn't Poe. This isn't Con Air. You need to sit down somewhere. Elijah, man, what you got, bro?
Oh man, I was not expecting the Con Air reference, but that was great. So for me, what I'll say is, Carolina Panthers, they are not to be trifled with. A lot of people are going to look at their record and they're going to be like, oh, what do they have to play for? Well, to be honest with you, they got everything to play for. They're still alive, right? So their situation is really simple. They need the Buccaneers to lose and they need to win. So if you're a Lions fan going into this saying, oh, they got nothing to play for other than to ruin our season, shut the hell up, because you know what you're talking about. They still have stuff to play for, okay? They still have stuff to play for. So they're coming into this game looking for a W just like we are. And oh, by the way, it's a Christmas Eve game. It's a 1 o'clock Christmas Eve game. This is one of those special ones where you're on TV and everybody can watch you no matter where you are. Yeah, this is going to be one of those games. 1 o'clock kickoff.
Oh, the game is 1 o'clock on Christmas?
1 o'clock Christmas Eve. 1 o'clock Christmas Eve.
I'll get off till 2. I will be getting off at 2 on the nose. I'm not going for that shit.
So that is the situation there. And I want to remind people, this is not at Ford Field. This is actually going to be in Charlotte. So I looked up the weather because every morning as a radio DJ, I always talk to our meteorologist, and he's always telling me about the different storms going through. And, well, there's not necessarily going to be any rain. There's only a 1% chance of rain in Charlotte at 1 o'clock for the kickoff. But I would keep an eye on that because I know that the fellows are going to be getting snow. I'm probably going to be getting snow. And most likely down south, they'll be getting rain. And that will be interesting. If they do get rain in this game, that will be interesting to see what happens there. But for this game, it's going to be Christmas. I call it Christmas Eve, but really Christmas Eve day, because 1 o'clock is the kickoff there on that game. But again, the Panthers, although they might be 5-9, they're still alive in these playoffs. And what I wanted to do real quick is I wanted to actually show with a playoff picture here, because we've been doing that the last few weeks. We probably wouldn't be doing that if our team wasn't involved, but our team is involved. We're in the hunt, right? We're in the hunt on the hunt. So let's go ahead and take a look here.
On the hunt for that final spot.
That's right. So looking at the NFC, this is the situation. The Eagles have already clinched their playoff spot. However, their quarterback's hurt. And so Gardner Minshew is going to be playing for them. Most likely coming up this Saturday. So be on the lookout for that change. And we don't know how often Gardner Minshew is going to be playing for the Eagles. But one thing I will mention to you is that if the Eagles can win this next game, I believe they lock up home field advantage. And because of that, they'd get a bye week. So technically they could rest Jalen Hurts for the rest of the season if they get this victory that they're looking for this weekend. Vikings have already clinched the division. Vikings have clinched the division. 49ers have clinched their division. The Cowboys have clinched a playoff spot, but they have not clinched their division. As far as the wild card is concerned, right now, Buccaneers, obviously they're leading their division right now, but they are in a spot there. The Giants and Washington. And then you got the Seahawks, and then you have our Lions. And like I was saying before, scroll down a little bit more here. Green Bay's still alive, and Carolina's still alive. So when we play Carolina this weekend, we got to pay attention. We cannot just overlook them or act like that you know they've got nothing to play for. We got to take them seriously. Plus, their head coach Steve Wilkes, he might coach himself into the job at Carolina if he keeps winning games. So that's another reason to take them seriously, as their coach has something to play for or coach for as well. Now, if you're looking for your rooting guide, teams you're rooting for this weekend, here we go. The Seahawks are going to be playing the Kansas City Chiefs. We need the Chiefs to win that game. Washington is going to be playing the 49ers this weekend. We need the 49ers to beat Washington. So those are a couple of games that you want to be kind of scoreboard watching. And obviously the Lions have got to take care of business against the Panthers. So those are kind of my thoughts. Obviously, Sam Darnold is most likely going to be the starting quarterback there for Carolina. I don't really know what to say about Sam Darnold at this point. We did play against him one other time. If y'all remember, it started off beautiful for us, but then ended very, very poorly. So keep an eye.
I remember.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that. But again, for Sam Darnold, he's been very up and down this year. But the Panthers,
another QB we can get to.
Yes, he is somebody we can get to. But like I said, the Seahawks game and Chiefs, actually, that's on Christmas Eve too. Christmas Eve day at 1:00. So while our game is going on, that Chiefs Seahawks game will also be going on. And then I told you about the Commanders and the 49ers. That'll be on Christmas Eve day as well at 4:05. And at 1:00, the Giants and the Vikings are playing. So the rare time where we're going to want the Vikings to play, and we're going to want Kirk Cousins to play as good as he possibly can for us. So that's kind of your rooting guide. But over these next couple of weeks, we'll be incorporating that because we have to. We have to. So again, you're rooting for the Vikings, you're rooting for the Chiefs, and you're rooting for the 49ers. And as always, you're rooting for the Lions coming up this weekend. Right now, we want to turn it over here to a sort of brand new segment.
Oh, give me a second. I didn't get to do my game preview.
Okay, go ahead, Bobby. Sorry.
Yeah. Let me take my glasses off. I'm serious. I have been getting a lot of hats, Detroit Lions, and I want to make sure that continues to happen. So my game preview is me going to the mall and getting me a damn hat. I believe in you guys. So let's get it done. Let's get my hat. That's my game preview, Elijah. Go ahead, brother.
Bobby took his glasses off and everything.
When you take them glasses off, you be serious. Look, let me tell you something. See, look, I all serious. As soon as you take them glasses off, that's my move.
When Bobby takes his glasses off, folks, you better pay attention because that means
Gator don't play no shit.
Oh,
about that.
Oh, I set myself up for that one, man. Oh my God.
Play no shit. Nate, take it away, my friend.
So now the segment are the guy who did not play no shit was James Houston. You know, y'all been hearing us talking about this guy. His nickname is The Problem. It was the problem. It is now the problem with 2 E's. So, you know, if you guys, you know, you might have seen the sacks, but it's more to it. Like I say, man, on Khalif Raymond's punt return, who decided to knock the hell out of the punter? James Houston. When Berrios muffed the snap on the punt return, who decided to knock the shit out of him first? James Houston. You know, when Zach Wilson thought he was about to get away, who brought him down for one of those 4 sacks? James Houston. So, on every aspect of the game, hey, Houston was not playing no shit. So, James Houston, he got that Gator boy going today. So, on that note, y'all, I think we finna get ready to close it up. And we're going to head
Give
it
him
over
some
to
walking
the live.
around money.
Yeah, that's right, because Gator don't play no shit. So, hey, we got closing remarks here. We're going to start off with Reggie for the closing remarks. Reggie, you're on the screen, my friend.
Okay, you win.
Man, I'm just a happy dog. 7-7. Offense is doing their job. Defense starting to get shored up. We got winnable games on the docket. Just happy my team's got something to play for right now. And really, the city needs something like this right now too. Like they're the only thing we got going right now. Kay Cunningham went down with a season-ending injury, so right now looking at a couple of rookies.
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
Exactly. Right now,
We talking about the Pistons? Who? What the fuck?
I'm bringing mention of my city, sir.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just happy my team's got something to play for. Yeah. Bobby, you better hope you get the hat on Sunday, on Monday.
Okay. My closing remarks. If you guys remember, I tagged y'all to my prediction. I said 7, 8 wins, a couple of maybes. So I'm in my couple of maybe stage. We need to get some of these maybes, man. Them couple maybes look like it's gonna be the reason why we go to the playoffs. So that's just my closing mark. Let's keep this playoff push going, man. What you think, Nate? What's your
man? Simple shit. Don't look too far ahead. Continue to do game after game, one game at a time. Stay focused. Instead of being the old Lions of finding ways to lose, continue to find ways to win. Continue to give this fan base something to cheer up. A lot of times people talk about Seattle and their stadium and their fans being the 12th man. The last couple of games here, our fans have been the 12th man. Opening up standing room only. Causing all type of false starts and, miscommunication penalties because they cannot hear. So, just continue to win, continue to give these fans and, us fans something to cheer about because we got y'all back, win, lose, or draw. But right now, we enjoying these wins. So keep it up. Elijah.
The team that can and will. That is one of the things that Dan Campbell said at the very end of Hard Knocks. They said, how would you sum up the 2022 Detroit Lions? And Dan Campbell, in his infinite wisdom, said, the team that can and will. And you know what? For the majority of this season, I was like, you know what? I appreciate the fact that he's pumping everybody up, but it's really going to be next season when we make our mark. I was wrong. I've never been more happy. I've never been more happy to be wrong. This is a team that can and will. So here's what I need them to do this weekend. Your entire focus is on the Panthers. Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't think about the fact that you got to go to Lambeau in 3 weeks and that they might still be alive for playoff contention and it might be a win or go home situation in Lambeau. Do not think about that. You got to think about the Panthers. Okay. And I think as long as we do that, and as long as we, do what we got to do, I think we'll be fine. But again, that for me would be my closing remarks. And again, a reminder, your rooting guide this weekend. You want the Vikings to win. I know that feels weird, makes you want to vomit, but that's the truth. You want them to win this weekend. You want, and I don't know where Bobby just went. Bobby just ducked out. But anyway, you want the Vikings to win. You want the 49ers to win, and you obviously want the Lions to win, and you want the Chiefs to win. Those are your 4 teams you're rooting for this weekend. And again, I don't know what happened to Bobby. Bobby was there, and then he ducked out. So, but hopefully he'll pop back in. Just real quick, because I do want to give Bobby the chance to pop back in before we end the show here. We are doing that contest, 350 subscribers. Once we hit that number, we'll be giving away that Apple Series 3 watch. Right now, we're at 283 subscribers. So we're hoping that you'll help us out and help us get some more subscribers. That's how you win the watch, is by getting us the most amount of new subscribers. And just make sure that if you are bringing people to our channel, that they're letting us know that you're the one that brought them. Otherwise, we have no way of knowing that. So please make sure you do that. Make sure to follow us on Facebook too, because we do have a Facebook page that has been growing as well. With that all being said, it's time for us to go. Bobby didn't hop back in, but I'm sure he's okay, so nobody worry about Bobby.
Yeah, he went to go research what hat he buying.
Probably, because he's confident. He's confident. So, hey, for Bobby Bless, who's already left, for me, Reggie, and Nate, this has been On the Hunt. See y'all next week. Have a good one.